recalling that first moment that I was in a wet scene with my friend that was a LMT at the time, and I had just received a massage. And she worked on my piriformis area, my glute area for at least 20 minutes. And the work was so specific and slow. It came from so many different directions. I said to my friend in the sauna, if I were a massage therapist, I would work like that. And she said, what's stopping you? I had never thought about being a massage therapist before. And all of a sudden, this new world woke up inside of me. And I immediately went home and started Googling what is massage therapy? How do you get started? Do people like their jobs? What are the pros and cons? And what I kept on finding over and over again were all these cons of why not to do it. And so I wanted to give you some background of someone that's been in massage for 10 years and still absolutely loves what they're doing. Because when I was seeing all these cons, I thought, surely there's someone out there that loves what they do. They just weren't speaking up. I want to bring you into this industry and talk about three things: pain, as how much physical pain do we experience as massage therapists? To money, how much money we're actually making as an overall, and then talk about outliers like my mentor. And then three, there is a lot of negativity towards our clients. And I personally think that we can do better with that. So let's talk about it here.
Let's first talk about physical pain, us being in physical pain, because let's be real, we are using a lot of upper body strength if we're giving a typical table massage. Now, what happened for me was just coming out of massage school in a smaller body that doesn't have a ton of muscle. I kept on finding myself overexerting myself. And people kept on asking me for more pressure, and I couldn't deliver. And so I thought, I'm out. I can't give people what they want or need. So therefore, I can't do this job, which is absolutely not true. There are so many different directions you can take as far as massage goes, but we're just used to seeing that typical deep tissue or Swedish massage. And there's a whole new world out there for you. So, one of the ones that hit me quickly was abdominal massage. This can be very intentional work, very slow work, very gentle work that isn't hard on your body, but it's going to be very meditative. The other one is we hear a lot about is cranial sacral work, where we do a ton of holding. This is going to be meditative and slow, easy for our body, but some of us need something that's more active. And this is where I came into structural integration and Rolfing, getting into these fascial lines that didn't necessarily need a lot of pressure. And also for me was Thai massage, the ability to be on the ground, using my full body weight to be able to give the massage. And I got to use this whole mat in this whole area to stretch someone out and really allow them to breathe and feel in a different way without me having to do a ton of work. And so those are just a few things that we can think about of different ways of working besides just on the table, just giving a ton of physical pressure. So we need to think about our unique self and decide as we move along in this process what's going to be the best option for us. So for me, it ended up being SargaThai, where I got to work in the world of barefoot massage with the Sarga silk and allow myself to use my full body weight and Thai massage to stretch the body and allow the client to move in bigger ways. I really found my own niche in order to explore what helped my body and gave the biggest impact to my client. Number two is finances. I remember in business class in massage school, someone came in and said the first year out of massage school, they made $50,000. And it was okay, that's great for your first year. I can work with that. But the honest truth was when I got out of massage school, I made 25, $30,000 maybe. And the reason being is this person wasn't telling us about all of the expenses that go in. Also, you can decide if you want to start your own business or you want to work for someone else. These are going to adjust your incomes in a huge way, and also how much massage you can do in a day. If you work for someone else, chances are they're going to be bringing in the clients for you. So it's up to them to do all the marketing and bring you clients. Hopefully, you get a lot of clients that you can work on, and you get to decide how many you take a day. That is key when working for someone else. You decide how many clients you're going to take on. Then, if you become an entrepreneur, you not only have your revenue, but minus that, all of the expenses you're taking out. And then you have your profit, which oftentimes is not anywhere close to $50,000, especially in your first year because you're building up. Now, there are those outliers of people that do get their clientele quickly right off the bat, but that's not the norm. So for me personally, now I make $75,000 revenue. I have products. I also have online courses and I teach SargaThai on the side. That will keep on growing. I'm just starting. But then there's my mentor who started in structural integration right off the bat. She found that she could help people very quickly. So the word of mouth spread very quickly. She built her business very quickly and she was making over 100K rapidly. Then she chose to buy a building and have massage therapists rent out while she taught massage classes. So there's so many different ways to get your income up there. It's just going to take a little bit of you deciding where your heart is. And then the third thing I want to talk about here is our clients. Yes, it's true that our clients can be extremely draining, but you get to set boundaries and you get to market to people specifically that you want on your mat or you want on your table. That's up to you to really define who you want to be and what you want to offer. And you have this option to, when someone starts to gossip or they think you're their mental health therapist, you get to allow them to come back into their body by asking questions like, does this side feel different than the other? Where do you feel this in your body? Is there any referral points? We might be pushing on the quad, but they might be feeling it up in their iliacus. You can also ask them to breathe, which also brings them into their body. So there are people thriving in massage. I'm one of them, and maybe you will be too.